And we are off. To answer the question from chat, yes, I am 100% familiar with the seed and know exactly where every item is.
Well, I will be looking forward to that then. Hello.
Looks like we have Shy Guy in the chat, or in the commentary now. Hello, Shy Guy. How are you today?
All right. How about yourself?
I'm doing quite well. Thank you for joining me for commentary on this race.
Yep. Looks like we had a interesting seed last race, so
Sure did.
maybe we'll get more of the same this time.
You just never know what you're going to come across, and what kind of different strats or skills you'll have to display in these randomizers. That they're very exciting. Every single one is completely different.
Yeah. So.
Wow.
That's an item to pick up right away.
Plasma beam at the start. That's two randos in a row for these guys where plasma was very early.
Well, that just about renders most enemies kind of unthreatening at the moment.
Yeah, I can't imagine feeling more powerful at the start here.
Oh, nice. Got the damage boost right off the Let Us Leaf right away.
Well played by ThunderMustache. Looks like SlyPork also going to opt to do the same strat he did last race.
Also, the baby strat I tend to stick with because it's easier.
Sure. And SlyPork getting it on the first try there. Good job. Okay, Sephi mentioned this in the last race. Very oftentimes you will see a power bomb in the first two minor spots. And we didn't see that last time, but we see it this time. So if one of the runners, and in this case we've seen both of them succeed at Alcatraz, but if we had a runner that was a little bit uncomfortable with Alcatraz escape, could use their power bombs if they have them to get out.
Right, yeah. And there's a lot of utility in them. Especially since I believe neither picked up bombs in the last.
Correct. Yeah, we never even saw it.
So yeah, they'll possibly have some uses. I believe there was also a scare at Fantoon for a bit. I was hoping for drops and got them.
Yeah, it was good to see. Here we see when you have power bombs as one of the first two minors, you're allowed to check this minor under Mother Brain tank here. So ThunderMustache opting to grab that. He finds a regular missile pack. So far 2 regular missiles and 1 power bomb. No supers just yet. SlyPork opting to go up to the invisible bridge room and then the Billy Mays room up here.
Yeah, he's looking. I guess probably just trying to get some more ammo at this point, since you won't really find anything major in here. So.
Right, so he's going to get 2 regular missile packs.
That's probably not what he was hoping for, but...
Yeah, probably not. And here we have ThunderMustache making his way to BT. Let's find out what we got in here. You got any guesses, Shy Guy?
I'm going to say BT has bombs because he's tired of being ignored this whole tournament.
Gotcha. I'm going to go with Space Jump.
Oh, well, that is a useful find, especially without bombs.
Yeah, as mentioned in the last race, sometimes you end up with people running randomizers that are not overly familiar with a lot of different categories other than any percent, and which obviously, any percent doesn't get spring ball. So in randomizers, the spring ball can be incredibly useful when you don't have bombs in particular.
Oh yeah,
saving those power bombs in different spots.
Oh, and Porky managing to get a super here.
Okay, I wonder if he's going to opt to go straight. Now he's going to head back.
Yep.
We have a Terminator E-Tank.
And once again, Plasma is rendering these small barrier pirates
I just can't imagine having plasma that early and literally never having to use ammo for anything but doors. That's pretty wild.
It's pretty nice, especially if you don't go around collecting a lot of ammo. You know, you're going to be able to save quite a bit.
True. And we saw last seed Charge. Well, they didn't find Charge. They found it at Rex Ship, but they both went there first. I think Sly found it before ThunderMustache. But if you can find Plasma and Charge like early on in a rando, which doesn't happen very often, but if you can, it really, really allows you to ignore picking up a lot of minor items along the way, as opposed to if you never find Charge or something.
Oh yeah. So right now, I mean, obviously the suits are the reserve tank still. The suits are obviously their biggest once at the moment, but Charge Beam would be shortly behind that.
Yeah.
They've got basically those three are the main ones they'll be looking for. Obviously the rest, you know, they'll be useful and they'll want them, but they're really hoping to find some of those three quickly.
No hesitation this time by ThunderMustache, opting to immediately grab the reserve tank there. And, you know, even though we always talk about reserves not really being very powerful, but especially early on, it's probably still a great idea to get any item that you're given. Because having a full reserve, if you don't get many E-tanks at the beginning, can actually be very beneficial.
Right.
And since ThunderMustache has power bombs, which occurs far more frequently now than it used to, he can go straight down here to where this E-tank would normally be. And it is an E-tank.
Get another energy tank. It's not a bad find. You don't have a lot of energy yet, so you're going to at least get 3 no matter what. So
correct.
And it looks like Pork might be thinking about going to the Gauntlet, maybe.
I think he's probably just going to save. I think he did the same thing in the previous race, but I don't think he'll attempt it. It would be ill-advised to only do it with 5 power bomb.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so I would assume the next major that we could potentially see here would be this E-tank, this gated E-tank here. I think last time it was an item that both players had to come back to check for. They were unable to glitch the gate. Let's see if ThunderMustache opts to attempt it again here, and if
looks like it.
Yeah, see, maybe he can be a little bit more successful this time.
And he does have quite a bit of supers here, so that should help.
Absolutely.
And you got a drop. That's. And it looks like he got it there. Almost. There is a sort of visual cue if you get the super sort of right underneath that grapple block. That's kind of
I think that got
what
it
you're
right
looking
there.
for.
Yeah.
There he goes.
The previous time he got the right angle on the shot, but I think he was a little too far to the right. Ooh.
Well, that's
wow.
An important find.
I would say that it was probably better that he didn't miss it this time.
Correct. That's going to be something he really going to like when he's getting down into Norfair here.
All we can say to that is, oh baby. So this time he will opt, he'll grab whatever's at charge location, but he will opt not to go below charge unless that's speed. Okay, it's not.
Yeah.
And SlyPork here, a little bit behind, grabbing the reserve at the reserve location.
Yep, and he's cleaning up back behind there a little bit. He'll be getting the rest of these items, I imagine he'll be taking a pretty similar route. We'll see what he does when he gets to the Pink Brinstar E-Tank. See if he can get that Varia suit as well.
Yeah, I certainly, as a commenter or a commentator, we're never really rooting for one player or the other, but I certainly hope that he's able to get that glitch, because if he were unable to get it and didn't find Varia for quite some time, that would be a significant disadvantage.
Yeah, that would be a big time loss, especially if he ends up waiting for Wave Beam and that's somewhere in Norfair. That would be a pretty painful find.
Looks like ThunderMustache is heading into this room probably to farm power bombs, would be my guess.
Yeah, he can't complete this without bombs, grappler, space jump, so.
Yeah, there we go. Very important to maintain a healthy power bomb count early in these randos when you don't have bombs, especially if you only have one power bomb pack.
Yeah.
It's very, very easy to make that mistake.
And both of them are running at the one pack. That's just, it's a scary proposition sometimes. So farming is power bombs. I don't think there's any problem with that. I think, like you said, that's a smart decision to do.
Right. It looks like we got Wave Beam early. So technically speaking, if either player had trouble with the gate, they could pretty easily go back and check it after getting that. But hopefully we'll see SlyPork get it. Looks like SlyPork fell down and now grabbed the minor item. Top of the tower there.
It's a nice super find.
Yeah, especially when you don't have a charge beam, those supers are incredibly important, in particular to suit up for the Ridley fight.
Yes. And if charge beam is just so out of the way in their seed, you're not likely to see that, but if it is, they could opt to go to Mother Brain without charge beam, in which case they'll be wanting to pack a ton of super missiles.
Absolutely. They would need to, on Mother Brain 2 alone, 60 supers.
Yeah, that's not normally a proposition you're going to see players opt to choose, but sometimes it might just be charge beams at Shack Tool or something, and they just don't want to go back there.
Correct. Occasionally, and it kind of depends on the miners that the game gives you. Like if it just overloads you with supers and you never find charge, it's easier to do it. But if it doesn't, like, some seeds give you a ton of missiles and not a ton of supers. So in those situations, you probably wouldn't opt to do that.
Looks like Porky's opting to skip the Pink Brinstar E-Tank for now.
Oh, I see. Looks like Kraid, for a second race in a row, has managed to get his way into prom.
Kraid is he just wanted more screen time, that's all.
Blame him. He was able to knock over the punch bowl and get some party favors before being thrown out by Mustache there. Ooh, X-Ray.
X-Ray. Oh, and actually, Pork might be. I'm not sure what he's doing now. He's halfway deciding what he wants to do, so.
I guess he is going to skip the fully skip finding Varia. So we'll have to wait and see how this affects him down the line.
Yeah, we'll see what his choice is once he gets Wave Beam, if he decides to go back for it or not.
Of course, the flip side is X-Ray, obviously doesn't have a ton of uses in these randos, but the fact that the runners already have plasma, if they could find charge, then they could utilize that X-Ray for several of the bosses.
Yeah, that's... X-Ray is not useful for runners, because you know where stuff is, but the Meridia bosses especially, since they have plasma, like you said, there is utility there. It is That's its use basically in the randomizer. It's a pretty interesting use, not something you think about, but the seed might be setting them up to where that's a good option for them later.
Yeah, and everybody, has different strategies, and it's kind of hard to say exactly what's right and wrong. But if I came across X-Ray, I'd probably just go ahead and grab it, especially if it was early. Just, it's like, what, 7-second fanfare?
Especially when you already have plasma.
Exactly, and I would just kind of hope that it would pan out to where I could use it.
Right, so you don't want to kind of just leave that option out on the table and then find what you need later and then realize, oh, wait, I skipped that item.
Yeah, I mean, you're losing 7 seconds to grab it, but if you happen to find the other things, you're saving really a good amount of time on those bosses.
Oh, and he's a little short on that mock ball there. Started just a little bit too late.
See if he can get it on the second try. SlyPork using his supers to knock those blocks out, opting to go the... Oh. He's heading to Norfair.
I think he did that on accident. I'm going to guess.
Sure. But keep in mind that he did not get Varia, so it's possible...
I guess he is going down to check out high jump.
Yeah, high jump's the only one he can safely get to right now, because if you look at the amount of health he has, it's not a ton.
Yeah. Let's get another power bomb pack there. That's nice.
It'd be difficult to check ice, probably.
Yeah, ice would be very difficult with 3 energy tanks.
So space jump now, acquired by ThunderMustache. That is a very, very helpful item.
And high jump is just a reserve tank, so...
We've already seen, what, 2 reserves?
I believe that is the second.
Not typically an item that makes you feel good when you see it.
No, especially when you're trying to look for things to help you advance.
Oh, that's a very welcome sight right there. Another power bomb pack that ThunderMustache will be able to get. And SlyPork already picked his up earlier. They're high-fiving.
A little bit of extra safety.
So I would assume SlyPork will now probably head up to Kraid. And I would assume ThunderMustache will, with Varia, start making his way to the Bubble Mountain area so he can start collecting the 3 majors there. And then depending on what he finds, could opt to either go to Croc, technically go to Lower Norfair if you found the right items, or potentially decide to head up to Wreck Ship. We'll see.
Yeah, I think at the moment it'd be smart just to try to find the items in Norfair here, in case he does get a gravity suit or something.
Sure.
So he can clean up this area while he's here.
I completely agree. I think sometimes it's easy to, with these randomizers, it's kind of easy to get ahead of yourself and just try to do things out of order, whereas technically if you just ran it old route style,
right, it could still work out
fine. Yeah. So you could clean up the items down here, and if you didn't find what you needed, you could just immediately head to Wreck Ship, because you know that you have enough energy and missiles to take care of Fantoon, and then check the items up there as well.
And SlyPork already has 35 super missiles, so this is a pretty generous seed for those overall so far.
Absolutely. So now we get another shot at seeing Kraid. See how SlyPork handles this fight.
Oh, and Charge Beam at Norfair Reserve.
Wow.
So picking up X-Ray there, that was worth it now.
Charge Wave Plasma, 19 minutes in.
This is a very generous seed right now.
Incredibly powerful, twice in a row now. At this point, especially with high jump, especially with space jump, if ThunderMustache found Gravity?
Yeah.
He would very easily be able to go to Lower Norfair, and the only other item he would need to finish the entire game would either be speed or ice to
Right,
get
yeah.
the plot twin.
Honestly, if I just found high jump, even maybe without it, at this point I would probably take the risk going to Lower Norfair if I felt comfortable with the lava dive.
I would too. And again, it's all about personal preference, but grapple. But yeah, definitely with Charge Wave Plasma, the Ridley fight becomes significantly less daunting.
Yeah, so that's seems to be setting it up where they'll have a choice to make there.
I'm actually a pretty big fan of grapple. I know most people when they see it probably don't get super excited, but it does have many areas in a rando, depending on the other items you have, that it can be quite useful.
Grapple is the best. Although they do, or at least Thunder still has space jump, so grapple. I guess I'll give him a different option on Dragon at this point. Because space jump normally renders most grappling pretty useless.
True. The one area that I can think of where it really shines is if you don't have charge and you're in Lower Norfair and you're having to farm supers to fight Ridley.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that would definitely.
That makes things significantly faster. But I know that's a pretty isolated incident, but I'm just saying if you come across grapple, I can't imagine a scenario where it would be like better to skip it unless it was just like at the very end of the game.
Yeah, this grapple is too important. Should never skip it. And it looks like Pork might be going back, hopefully to check out the pink Brinstar energy tank. Which if he does, he'll be able to get Varia and explore around.
Okay, so looks like ThunderMustache, I would assume, is probably going to head down to Croc, which with Charge and Plasma, this is twice now in a row. We're going to get to see some charged plasma beams on old Croc.
Yeah, Crocomire just does not know how to handle it. His AI was not made to mess with charged plasma. So he does not put up much of a fight against it. Crocomire just slowly backs himself away. Oh, one short.
Jebaited.
Crocomire with the juke. He's not wanting to go. Crocomire hates bath time.
Oh, what a find.
That's your beam combo right there.
Wow. Ice Wave Plasma Charge. 23 minutes into this match. Unbelievable. Only one boss down.
This is really powerful for the players.
This makes fighting Fantoon, even if you didn't have X-Ray, significantly easier. You could just get basically 4 regular missiles in, like, hit 2, pause, hit 2, and then do a charge shot. You would do that, and you'd 2-round every time.
Yeah, so this is really setting up good. And really all Thunder would be looking for at this point is Gravity Suit. Because he can ice clip him Meridia, so he's not blocked by anything else.
True. SlyPork has managed to grab Varia, and I would assume we'll now head down to Norfair to do some item collection. Let's see what is at the Gravity location here. He just remembered, I think, getting set up here that he doesn't have a speed booster, so he can't break those blocks. So he's going to space jump across.
And we've got a... Oh, gee. All the beams.
Which now, if I recall, will override plasma. He'll
It
have to turn
will,
on his... Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we've all done that at least once.
Oh, yeah.
I know I've definitely done it.
I do not mind Phaser, but at this point there is no reason to collect it.
True. I will... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, you're fine.
I was just going to say the only... And I wouldn't collect it, I agree with you. The only scenario I can imagine where it would actually help is if you had to do Suitless Meridia and opted to turn off plasma, because it's a little easier to freeze some of the creatures that way.
We saw that a little bit in the last seed.
Correct.
Some enemies got destroyed probably when they didn't want to.
Yeah.
So, plasma can do that, even with one shot. It's such a long beam. The hitbox just sometimes, it's still active in the enemy by the time their invincibility is run out, so it just destroys them.
Correct.
It's kind of annoying that sometimes.
It feels good when you want it to do that. It feels bad when you don't. Oh, it's SlyPork.
He's got Spring Ball, so he didn't quite get the Mock Ball there.
I have done that. I cannot even tell you how many times I've done that.
Spring Ball is fun, but in this case, not what we were looking for.
Not at all. Also, a very cool thing about having charged so early is that at this point now the runners, especially having like even just plasma alone, they know for sure that they don't have to collect really any more minor items in terms of like missiles.
Yeah, their counts are both good.
So yeah, they'll just, I would assume that ThunderMustache will probably just straight skip every miner he comes across until the end.
I would imagine so. It's really just gravity suit and go for him.
Absolutely.
And Pork getting the Mock Ball there.
Job.
And it looks like Thunder is probably taking a route back to the wreck ship here. Maybe wanting just to find that gravity suit before he tries attempting another lava dive or suitless again.
And I think we've mentioned before, you can make the lava dive even without high jump boots or gravity suit and whatnot, but it makes it a lot easier to have high jump boots, so I would probably opt, if I didn't have an easy way to get in at this point, I would just opt to go ahead and head up to wreck ship, see what I could collect. Sometimes you think you're saving time by like doing something out of order, but if you don't do it optimally or it takes you a long time, you might actually end up eating more.
Yeah, at that point, it's kind of like why did the decision just doesn't work out if it's not optimal all the time. So
exactly. And in the grand scheme of how long these runs take, simply going from Norfair to back up to wreck ship is not like a super long time. So.
And the wreck ship is small enough. It's not like Norfair Meridian. You don't have a lot of area to cover. You'll be able to come across all the other than the bowling alley. You'll get all the major item locations fairly quick too. So
that's true. And there's always the chance, like ThunderMustache. Let's just say theoretically that he found gravity at the first major item location in wreck ship. He could just opt to leave immediately.
Yeah, he could just get out of there and keep going. Also, shout out to the Key Hunter's wings there, just staying frozen in the air.
Interesting.
There are some quirks with this game sometimes. And looks like Pork is getting into Bubble Mountain, so he'll be picking up Charge Beam shortly.
That's right. And Thunder is really moving. He's moving quite quickly through all these segments.
He really is. He's making some good time here. And he also will not need to count on Fantoon dropping power bombs this time. He's got plenty. He is perfectly safe.
He's got enough power bombs to get through the entirety of wreck ship, I believe. So he's good to go.
I believe so, yeah. And Pork finding Charge Beam.
So Fantoon has 2,500 health. The charge shot that ThunderMustache would hit him with would be 900. So if he opts to shoot 0 regular missiles, he will need 3 charge shots to kill Fantoon. It is possible to 2-round Oh, he's gonna. I forgot about X-ray. That's right. So he was kind of trying to use X-ray to kill him. But if you didn't have X-ray, you could still 2-round with these charge shots. You just have to supplement it.
Correct. I do believe you need to shoot him with a single missile first, if I'm not mistaken.
That could be correct. I'm actually not 100% familiar because I've only attempted it a few times.
Yeah, I don't know exactly myself, but I do believe you can only get him once unless you hit him with a missile first. Although I could be very mistaken in that.
Yeah, Fantoon definitely has 2,500 health.
Yeah.
So that's, especially when you're running any percent, you have to figure out, depending on your strats, how many X factors you need, and you know, you got to count your Dopplers and stuff like that if you run a new route and whatnot.
So yeah, Fantoon's down pretty easy with that beam combination. Pork picked up grapple, so he's probably going to check wave beam next. And then I imagine he'll probably take a similar route back out toward the wreck ship.
Yeah, I would be surprised if he opted to do anything other than the thing we see Thunder doing at the moment. Okay, so once again, I know most people are probably familiar, but we'll just kind of say it anyway, just to make sure in case anybody's new. This is normally not a major item location in vanilla, but for this tournament, for these rando seeds, this does include a major item here in this room. So that wreck ship has 4 major items in it. Let's see what he finds.
Yeah, it makes wreck ship a more appealing place, and it's just an energy tank this time. But it gives a wreck ship a little more reason to visit it.
Yeah, it has a little bit more value than normal.
Yeah, because finding the 3 major items that are normally here, they're kind of a hassle to get to. 2 of them especially. So.
Absolutely. We oftentimes see runners opting to save before heading over to the spike room or post spike room E-Tank, but Thunder, especially with Varia and Space Jump, probably not super worried, plus he has a ton of health. So.
Yeah, it's able to get out Fantoon with plenty of health, so this, with his items, this shouldn't be too much of a hassle getting through there and then back.
Not at all. I've got a feeling we might see something worthwhile over here. I don't know. Let's see.
I'm guessing a reserve tank here. Oh,
Speed. No. So that is very beneficial in terms of like, I think everybody knows that one of the major items in this wrecked ship, speed is literally a requirement to get to it. And so if that had not been speed booster, then he would have had no chance at getting that item at the moment. And I have seen seeds in the past that had, for example, like gravity at that location, but you couldn't get, like the first time you visit wreck ship, you couldn't get to it because you didn't have speed.
Yeah, and that is a gamble with wreck ship. If you come here without speed booster and gravity or charge beam is in that location, that is probably one of the 2 or 3 locations you don't want to see the item. Correct. You absolutely want in.
I think the worst seed I ever played, Sly now getting Ice Beam after Crocomire. I think the worst seed I ever played, you didn't get Space Jump nor Grapple until like way later. And so you couldn't get to, the X-ray location or whatever easily.
Oh, yeah.
And then that's where speed was. And then I think gravity or Varia was at wreck ship reserve tank. So you had to actually go through it twice. I think it was like you had to get grapple at gravity and then go to X-ray and then go back.
Yeah, that's not something you want to do. It's just costing you time.
Yeah.
But every now and then, the randomizer will give you something like that, so. Oh, and Thunder's cleaning up the attic here. He might go decide to check this item first. Looks like he is. To see if it's worth heading back here. And with Speed Booster, getting through those pillars is an issue.
Okay. So he definitely will not, I would imagine he will opt not to grab that E-Tank.
Yeah, even if he wanted to get a 7th energy tank, there's plenty of other locations that are quicker that he'll come across later, so.
Absolutely. And especially, there's even less value now with getting whatever minor item that could be before it, because as we mentioned earlier, they don't really need anymore.
Oh, and Pork also collecting Spazer.
Double Spazer action.
Do a little frustration arm pumps there.
They were both having bad flashbacks to their previous Meridian trip.
I'll give them both a break, though. That item's... you load into the room, you fire the beam. You've got a few tiles to stop before actually collecting it, so...
I've done it countless times, and to be quite frank, I'm sure I will continue to do it.
Oh, yeah. One thing I will mention with Thunder's Speed Booster, since he does not have high jump, and this is just more of an annoyance, but his vertical jump height when running is going to be lowered if he's not running at a full speed or near full speed.
Correct.
Does not really do anything, especially since he has space jump.
Oh, baby.
There's high jump. So never mind. He'll be jumping just fine now.
That is a beautiful sight right there.
So, where do you think they'll end up going here? Because they could go to Meridia, they could do a lava dive. So it looks like it's set up for either one of those again.
Yeah, again, I'm always, you never really know what each player is kind of comfortable with because there's so many different tricks, but I would assume that most people would opt to lava dive and head to Lower Norfair before doing a suitless Meridia attempt, especially with high jump. So,
I also think that would be a smart play, because if you don't get gravity in Meridia, then you're either doing it all suitless or you're coming back to it later, so...
Oh, yeah. And let's just keep it real. That would eat a ton of time. So, basically, I think suitless Meridia is, from an optimal standpoint, probably the last thing you ever want to try to do.
Yeah, I would agree with that. You could take the risk and gamble on it, but unless it pays off, that'd be a really painful way to lose some serious time.
Outside of gravity, I would assume the best item that he could get would be like screw attack, especially heading to Lower Norfair, that make things incredibly, but looks like it's just an E-Tank.
Yeah. Which he does opt to get, so now he's got plenty to do the stand-up if he chooses to. But yeah, screw attack would be a nice find. Again, definitely not needed, but it's a useful utility item just to go through enemies a little easier.
For sure. There was a question in chat about whether gravity or Varia can be a gauntlet. I don't believe so under the current logic.
Correct. I believe that is true. Neither suit can appear there as far as I'm aware.
ThunderMustache now backtracking.
He better not go in that room because he has no power bombs left. Oh, he is actually stuck at the moment.
Is he? He could have gone. Ooh.
There's those bomb blocks outside that door, so he's.
Wait.
This is.
I could have sworn. Could he not have just gone underneath the last set? Doesn't the last set have a thing underneath it?
Could have gone, but beyond that door to the landing site, there's that wall of bomb blocks.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So he's actually just stuck now.
Did he not save before he came up here?
I don't believe so. This is.
Oh no.
This is some. Here is where having regular bombs, because you don't think about this all the time. You don't pay attention all the time. So having regular bombs, it's sometimes taken for granted how much use they do have.
Has he saved at all?
That is a good question.
There's bombs.
There's bombs at X-ray. I don't remember Thunder saving.
Okay, wait a minute. So is it possible for him? I've actually never attempted this. I guess, is it possible for him to get a stutter 3 here?
Yes, you
Okay.
can do that. The problem here is he's not going to be able to open the door on the other side and get through it. And there's still going to be that wall of blocks. But there is a chance the enemies could... I think the waivers in here could drop a power bomb. I'm not 100% sure about that.
Yeah, I think you're right.
If they can, it's a really, really low percent. It's probably like the 2% drop that the Deskigas have in Lower Norfair.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up real quick just to familiarize myself with it, since this could come up again.
If they don't drop a power bomb, he is actually soft locked in here.
Yeah. All right, a power bomb drop for a waiver is 4%.
4%. Okay, so there is a chance here.
I believe it's 4%. Yeah, 4%. So.
But he's going to have to successfully pull off the Shine Spark multiple times until he gets that. And they're going to want to drop energy.
This is, you know, again, when we're commenting on these things, we're, you know, never really judging the decisions at all by the players. But that's just kind of one thing to keep in mind, that, like, pretty much every time you come to the ship, if you're going to opt to get into the ship, or I guess really if you're going to be near the ship, it's never an awful idea to go ahead and save and refill for these randomizers. I mean,
especially with the power bomb counts, as you can see, it matters.
It really does, yeah. And I've said this earlier, it's so true. It's so easy to kind of forget that you don't have all the normal items, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I've soft locked myself by not realizing I didn't have enough power bombs to do certain things. Tough situation.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, I don't fault him for trying, but if he really never did save at any point during this run, I'm not saying it'd be impossible, but it would be incredibly difficult to come back from that.
Yeah, because that's over a half hour. That's you just lost. You know where everything is at this point, but you still have to go back and recollect everything. That's kind of brutal to go through. As we see Pork making his way through the gauntlet now.
Yeah, and once again, for the 20th time in the last 2 matches, they are literally in the same exact spot with the same exact items for the most part. I guess SlyPork is yet to go to wreck ship. But...
Correct. He's that'll probably be his next stop here. But yeah, this is just a brutal situation here for Thunder. This is
certainly is. Nobody ever wants to see something like this occur. Pork has bombs because he went to X-Ray. That's where X-Ray was. Pork currently does not have high jump boots or speed booster because those were at wreck ship.
Yeah. And it looks like Thunder opting to reset here. And yeah, did not save. So this is... He's got some ground to make up now, so... obviously, knowing where the items are, that is going to definitely help. But only up to a certain point, because he does have to go through all this area again, so...
That is, without question, a big feels bad, man.
Yeah, that is a tough break. Going into the gauntlet and then realizing right at the end you are one power bomb short of getting out. That's about as brutal as it can get.
Well, I will say this for ThunderMustache, we've already seen an immense amount of perseverance from him in the last match.
Oh yeah,
especially with that Meridius section. So kudos to him for just firing it back up and giving it a go. Let's see what he does here. One thing I will point out, he probably, unless anything has been changed. Okay, everything's still off. I think that they might have made it to where you can only get in here and have the creatures in here if you've gotten the item on the left. Because if you don't do that, I've had a situation where I went right first by accident because I forgot. When I went back left, the item was no longer there because everything was...
Yeah. Yeah, Super Metroid works with some room states. Basically, it's the same room, but it changes some properties. And the Awake property, the Awake room state, takes that item PLM out. So that's a... That can creep up sometimes, so it's a good thing that they've made sure that's not a possibility here. As we see, Pork got the X-rays, so he did shoot him with the missile first, so I do believe that is the solution.
Well played.
And Thunder having some trouble with the lettuce leaf here. Trying to get the morph ball.
There we go. So if I recall, I believe the first item in Wreck Ship was an E-Tank. And then
Correct,
Speed Booster was at after the Spike Room.
Correct.
And then High Jump Boots was at Gravity, and I believe a regular E-Tank was at the reserve spot.
Correct. Yeah.
Gotcha.
If my memory's working, I believe you're correct on all those. So it did see in the last race, Pork did opt to collect a lot more ammo even after he had basically all the items. I'm kind of curious if he'll be going a little bit slower just to collect some more ammo, because I don't know how comfortable he is with some of the boss fights or Mother Brain. So we'll see. That might be some way that Thunder might gain some time here.
Yeah, for anybody wondering, I know where everything is because I already ran the seat, so that's why I know exactly what's in Wreck Ship. It's not because we saw ThunderMustache do it earlier.
It looks like Thunder is opting to... oh! He just got jumped on by a giant side hopper. That's, I believe, 80 damage without any suits.
Unfortunate.
Pork is trying to make his way through Spike Hall. Again, has space jumping plenty of energy.
Yeah, that room, especially if you go Wreck Ship early and don't have any suits, can be deadly.
That is the most dangerous room in the game.
Absolutely.
It's
tough in these randos. And to that point, the actual, everybody knows the name, the worst room in the game. That room actually becomes significantly more difficult in certain randomizer situations if you don't have some of the items.
Oh, right, yeah.
Depending on which category you're running, it might not be so bad. It's not that bad in old route. It's not too bad in RBO typically with screw attack, but sometimes if you go down there and don't have some of the items, it can be quite difficult.
Yeah, it's the randomizer loves putting you into some unique situations you never experience. You're not willingly going to go into these rooms with the equipment you're given in randomizers, so...
Exactly.
And Pork having some trouble here. There he is.
Looks like Thunder's trying to get Morph Ball here. I would assume that we will see Pork collect at least the gravity suit location where he'll find high jump boots. And then from there, I would assume he'd pretty instantaneously head to Lower North Fair.
And Pork Cargoing through that platform, taking 50 damage. That's another reason why that room is really deadly, because the enemies move up and down. Any enemy with vertical movement that's a platform, if you are turning, and especially underwater when you're turning, you can cargo through those enemies very easy. And those spike platforms with no suits deal a whole energy tank. And just cargoing through them, you are going to get hit, and it's just not a fun room.
Yeah, and those things do so much damage, like you pointed out earlier. And with wave ice plasma, you can basically just fire indiscriminately in just about any room and be fine.
Yeah, you can mow down everything with that. And it's such a wide hitbox on that. I think you only need 3 shots to basically cover the whole area, so...
Yeah.
And Pork seen that the one item is just an energy tank, so I'm pretty sure he'll opt to skip that. I'm not sure how comfortable he is. He does have 7 energy tanks, but maybe he might collect it for some extra safety. I'm not entirely sure what his decision on that's going to be.
I'm also curious to see what ThunderMustache chooses to do in terms of routing at this, because he knows
Right, yeah.
where everything is. So I wonder optimally what he will choose to skip or grab. You know, like I'm sure there will be a few E-tanks he'll still want to get, but there'll probably be some other ones he'll want to skip.
Right, and I think he might also opt to skip some minor items because he knows he's got Plasma Ice Wave Charge.
Yeah.
He knows his ammo won't need to be as high as it was.
That's an excellent point. Since he knows in advance he'll be getting charged relatively quickly.
Yeah,
Skip some of it.
The only boss would be Kraid, and with 1 super pack that won't be an issue, so I don't think he'll opt to collect that much. Also, it looks like Pork's trying to decide if he wants that energy tank back there or not. Looks like he is going to go back and get it.
Yeah, and he does have regular bombs, as we pointed out from X-ray room. So, and his power bomb count is plenty healthy anyway, but he has no issues getting in or out.
I don't disagree with. Obviously, if you don't feel comfortable with what you have, obviously collecting more energy is never a bad idea. But I do think there are better locations because there's still 6 more energy tanks out there.
True.
So,
yeah,
I personally would have skipped this, but it's not a big deal. This is probably just going to help him feel a little better, a little safer with the rest of his run.
Exactly, and optimally, everybody's different, as you pointed out. Like I would choose not to get it either, but I think a lot of times people will theoretically consider like what the best play is, but a lot of times they're thinking about it in terms of like one of the best players.
Right.
And so a lot of times you just got to play to your comfort level, as you pointed out. So I completely agree with you.
Yeah, and it looks like Pork has done that in both seeds. The first seed and this one, he's going through. He is going a little bit slower, but with his level of comfort with everything, it's not a bad decision to do.
And let's not forget too, I think maybe about 20 minutes ago, we had pointed out that Thunder was moving very quickly through the seed. So it would not surprise me to see him, make up some ground, but obviously at this point, it was a 40-minute, basically head start, if you want to consider it that. So it's going to be tough, but he's going to hang in there.
Yeah. And we'll see, he is going to grab this extra super here. So actually, I'm kind of curious what he does decide to do with these minor items. Obviously, you do want to have a good amount of supers, but with the knowledge he has of this seed currently, I can't imagine him going out of his way to really collect a lot.
Wasn't this one an E-tank? I actually can't remember.
I think it was.
Or was it a beam? A wave, maybe? No, it was
an E-tank. Almost falling in the trap, but getting out of there. where is... oh, Pork must be going to check behind Charge Beam here.
Oh, that's a good point. I actually had forgotten that they didn't have speed earlier.
I was a little curious as to what he was doing, but it just hit me that there is an item back there.
I will admit that this is a spot that I oftentimes forget to come back to in my randomizer.
Yeah, it's where Speed Booster is placed most of the time. This is normally out of your way, so
Correct.
it takes time to get to. If you have to backtrack to it, it just is not something you just feel like going back to collect or check. And Thunder opting to get these supers. This might be to help out with this gate glitch over here.
Just an e-check.
Yeah, because Thunder's definitely going to want to pick up the Varia suit again here.
Yeah, he's definitely not going to want to skip this one.
Oh, and accidentally going back through the door there.
Luckily, he has plasma, so he can mow through these hoppers pretty quickly.
Yeah, not even taking a hit there, so that's good. Again, the giant side hopper without the suit, it's
I was gonna
pretty
say, that looked good. There it is, man.
First try, so that's... So, and recollecting Varia suit here, so that's definitely something he wants. I'm going to assume he's just going to pass by Crocomire now. He knows there's really nothing back there but Spazer, and that's really no use at this point. So
Right,
there'll be another little time save.
Ice Beam was...
Oh, you're right. You're right.
But he'll definitely opt not to get a grapple, I would assume.
Yeah.
Sometimes these seeds kind of run together.
I forgot all about Ice Beam hiding back there. Which is something you want.
Yeah.
Just for the damage add onto the beam and for the Metroids.
Yeah, plus I would assume that, you know, not every player, but I would assume that a lot of the players probably feel significantly more comfortable doing the Zeb skip with the Ice Beam than with Speed Booster.
Right, yeah.
And then on top of that, obviously, it's just significantly faster Torian to freeze.
Correct.
To power bomb them.
Yeah, the powerbomb strat, you also need to make sure to have collected enough power bombs. So that's something. Especially since he knows where Ice Beam is, it would definitely be faster just to go to Crocomire, collect that, rather than go around pick up some extra powerbomb tanks.
So it looks like SlyPork is making his way down to a lava dive attempt.
Yeah, that would be the smart move, I believe.
Every time that I end up in a randomizer about to do a lava dive attempt, I forget if I have spring ball already, and I end up spring balling into a place that I don't want to be. So let's see if that happens here.
Yeah, I would say spring ball is probably the item most people forget they have.
It'd be really interesting, though, if 2 seeds in a row were early plasma, early charge, gravity, and...
We could have 2 in a row with Suitless Meridia required. That'd be a fun little group of races to have.
Sure thing.
Yeah, it looks like Park's getting the Namis, I believe they're called, getting those frozen. Can only be frozen if you have plasma beam, so that helps out here.
Yeah, I think we saw that last time too. You don't see that very often.
Yeah, it's... And it looks like Pork's having a little bit of trouble getting the final jump off this wall here. My guess is he's probably putting the input in too soon, because there's a little bit of delay because he is under a liquid, so the animation is not as fast. And obviously when your health is draining, there's a little bit of pressure there to get it, so that doesn't help. So looks like he just missed getting underneath the enemy there.
Plus, if you're listening to the game sounds, you know, some people listen to music while they play or whatnot, but if you're listening to the game sounds and you hear that ticking.
yeah, you can definitely get yourself psyched out a little bit. And it looks like he's got it.
All right.
And we get another visit from Kraid here over on Thunder.
Bonus Kraid.
And he got the quick kill.
Excellent quick kill.
That is always the type of quick kill I go for. I've played around with the faster version, but I just more consistent with that one. So I stick with what I know.
Yeah.
So, and Pork going to try to glitch this gate again. And he's obviously hoping for some gravity suit back here. Because again, there really isn't much else that'll be super useful at this point.
No, the only other thing in terms of, I mean, he can finish the game as soon as he finds gravity. If he does find screw attack down here, it will make lower North Air faster and cheaper, but I mean, he has so much health that I can't imagine it being too big of a problem anyway.
Yeah, looks like he's having a little bit of trouble with this gate.
I actually don't know. Did he save before?
I don't remember I don't think he saved after the... Oh, there's the gate.
That's another spot where I kind of feel like it's never a bad decision to save before you take the elevator down.
Yeah, if you lava dive down there, and like he lost 8 or 9 energy tanks doing that dive, so doing a save up there is not always a bad thing.
So this is let's see what we got here.
And it's an energy tank, so that'll at least refill his energy.
I always feel like an energy tank there is the biggest troll, though, because literally in the room above that, you have an energy refill.
Yeah, right. So.
Oh, man. Screw attack shows the biggest troll.
And looks like Thunder's picking up space jump again here. So he seems to be still making some good time getting back to where he was. He'll probably be going collecting charge. I don't know if he'll opt to get Ice Beam before going to the wreck ship or not here, but okay, and Pork is actually going to want to get the Shine Spark here. Or... yeah, without Screw Attack or without the Shine Spark, this room's... you're taking some damage due to this acid.
Well, we had a suggestion in the chat about adding a major item location to post Spore Spawn, which technically, if they made it to where it wasn't the normal super missile spot that you could glitch into, if it was like literally like right next to Spore Spawn, that would be the true pedestal, wouldn't it?
that would be... I would be for that.
Maybe we should consider that for future future setups.
Spo does not get enough love. And I think Pork forgot he had Charge Beam for a second there because he was powerbombing those pirates in the worst room. Oh, and Thunder's heading back into X-Ray. This time he has space jump, so he'll be able to collect back here. And when he gets this, I imagine there'll be a little bit of frustration here.
I would assume so. Yeah, this will probably be because did he have a chance during this past run to come get it?
He went by it to go to wreck ship.
That's right.
So yeah, now he's got bombs, so he's not getting stuck in any spot like that again. But yeah, that's got to not feel great to now know you passed up this spot to head to wreck ship, and then you come back. It's like, oh, if I'd stopped by here first, I wouldn't have got stuck where I did. So
yeah, once again, behold the power of regular bombs. They're very these randos are just so interesting because you just kind of forget how useful some of the items are when you don't have them.
Yeah, and Pork looks like getting screw attack here. That's actually a pretty good spot because screw attack does allow you to dodge through Ridley's body.
That, yeah, and the rooms leading up to Ridley, those rooms that he's about to go through are, I would assume, probably the most useful in the game to have screw attack for.
Yeah.
So we are, ladies and gentlemen, we are one major item location away from a potential suitless Meridia.
For the second time in a row.
So hype. We're either going to have gravity suit hype or suitless Meridia hype.
So I don't know. What's your call here? You think we're going to have a second seed here?
Man, I don't know. Given how wild these things have been, I kind of feel like it's going to happen.
We've got one chance here. I'm actually going to say we are not going to see a suitless Meridia. I think we'll get gravity suit after Ridley here, but I am definitely not against seeing suitless Meridia again for the second time.
I tell you what, every time you see gravity after Ridley, it is a huge sigh of relief because it's usually the last place, right?
Right, yeah.
Oh, man.
So this is... We're getting close to seeing here, but that'll be quite interesting. I don't know if this does end up being a suitless 2 times in a row. I don't know if you'll ever see that particular thing happen back to back in this tournament again.
It would be mathematically unlikely for sure. I find it humorous that whenever I'm running, I don't want to have to see a suitless Meridia, but then whenever we're
when everyone else is doing it,
yeah, everybody in chat's super hype about it, but I'm sure the runners are dreading it.
Oh yeah, and speaking of the utility with grapple beam you were mentioning earlier, here his Pork is farming these bugs here.
This is the perfect place for it. Outside of obviously suitless Meridia, if you need the grapple mechanics.
Did Pork save?
I don't think so, but he
should be fine.
Healthy,
yeah.
He's got plasma wave ice charge shots, which do a ton of damage, but also supers do a lot of damage to Ridley as well.
Yes. Supers are double damage on Ridley, so they deal 600 per shot.
So that's, I believe, what, 30 that would be needed?
Yes, it is 30 supers. And Pork better get out of that acid here. Yeah, that was a bit of a...
Of course, that's a little less dangerous with the Varia mechanics in Rando than it would be normally, but still, pretty scary.
Ridley is almost... in fact, I think he has taken enough damage off if he gets grabbed here. Yeah, Ridley's doing his death swoops.
I believe Sephi...
Needs to not tank him in the face so much, but...
Yeah, I believe...
This is...
Oh my goodness.
Pork is really
oh my goodness. Where did Pork save last?
What's a Norfair? Oh boy. This is a while ago. He's going to have to do, it looks like, all of Lower Norfair over again. So Thunder just got a big break there. Because Pork opted not to save after Lava Dive or before Ridley.
This is definitely not over, even though obviously SlyPork isn't losing nearly as much time as ThunderMustache did earlier. As we pointed out multiple times already, ThunderMustache was moving very quickly before he died.
Yeah.
And it's not inconceivable for him to find a way back into this, depending on how long Lower Norfair takes SlyPork.
Right. Yeah, because after Thunder cleans up the wrecked ship here, he is likely going to be headed to where Pork is at now. So.
And to finish the point about Ridley, I think it was Sephi and another commentator they were discussing Ridley's mechanics. Like, after you do enough damage for him to die, he doesn't instantaneously die.
Right.
He'll try to grab you, but if you don't allow him to, or if he just doesn't for a set amount of time, is it like 10 seconds or something?
It's actually, I don't know the exact time on there, but yeah.
But he's on a timer and he'll eventually just die. So
yeah, there's a couple ways to finish off Ridley. Pork, it looked like, was trying to get him to grab him, but he was not positioned very well for that, so Ridley just kept swooping down and hitting him. Ridley was dead, but he just needed to get grabbed or just survive a little bit longer. And Ridley is like the only enemy and boss that has that mechanic where he's dead, but he'll hang around a little bit.
That's true.
His I guess death AI just does not run until there's certain factors that are met, and unfortunately for Pork, he did all the damage he needed to do. He just didn't get grabbed or survive long enough. So
the only exception to that rule is Botwoon, but he does not continue to stay alive, but his dead body actually can do damage.
Yes.
I think anybody who's speedrun the game enough times has probably lost a run to Botwoon's dead body. So
Yeah.
that is one thing to keep in mind that is possible to see depending on the scenario.
Yeah. So. And Pork actually took quite a bit of damage there. He's going to want to be careful in this room. He's still... He is really low on health, so... He is having some close calls here.
Worst room in the game, again, giving some trouble.
And Thunder is back to the attic, so he's going to be getting high jump here shortly. And then I imagine he'll be on his way to Lower Norfair, unless he opts to just check Meridia, which I don't think he will.
Yeah, ThunderMustache is actually not that far behind. I mean, he's still several minutes behind, but it's not 40.
Yeah, this is... actually got really close. It definitely seemed like he may have been out of it after that soft lock, but he is not out of it yet.
And as mentioned earlier, I'm not as familiar with SlyPork in terms of speedrunning the game, but I am familiar with the fact that Thunder does 100% and 80% at minimum. And so just depending on how far ahead SlyPork is, it's conceivable that Thunder could make up some time from here till the Lower Norfair exit, like after they both get done with Ridley.
And I think it would be wise for Pork to take a save here. See if he does. Yeah, it looks like he will. So yeah, he realizes he doesn't want to have to go through all that again.
One thing SlyPork could consider doing, he might not be familiar with this mechanic, and it's understandable because it's a very specific mechanic that really typically only comes up in RBO. I mean, there are very special cases, but crystal flashing, if he wanted to, he could go back up to the Firefly room and farm a few more power bombs.
That would be the fastest way to refill.
It would, without question, be the fastest, and that would get him full energy, full reserves, and it would only eat up 10 missiles, 10 supers, and 11 total power bombs.
Yeah, it would not cost, because he's got plenty of ammo, but looks like he's headed straight down, though.
This has come up a few times in chat, so I'll just cover it real quick. RBO is a category for speedrunning Super Metroid that it's called reverse boss order, and you are required to kill the bosses in the reverse order of what the people think is the intended order. Like, you have to kill Ridley, then Dragon, then Phantoon, then Kraid. Yeah. Which means that you are forced to do all of Lower Norfair with 0 suits, no gravity, no Varia, which means that the literal only way that you can get in and get out is number 1, to crystal flash multiple times, and number 2, to get the E-tanks at the right time.
Yeah, RBO is a tough category because you really got to get some good management of your health. So
yeah, it's very stressful, but it's a lot of fun. It's a really cool run, and a lot of the skills that you learn to do that one translate pretty well to some of the things you're asked to do in these randomizers.
Yeah, definitely the skills from there definitely help out.
Yeah, but it's certainly not a category that I would call
it's not beginner friendly.
No, definitely not.
And Pork is going to spend a little while here farming some health, so this will be... Thunder is on his way. He might opt to stop by Crocomire for Ice Beam, but he will be going to Lower Norfair very shortly. It looks like he is going to... Actually, going back to High Jump, it looks like. Was this a energy tank or a reserve tank?
This one was a reserve?
Okay, yeah. He might have been thinking it was an energy tank, maybe? I'm not sure.
Yeah, to be honest, I mean, one of the things I thought but didn't say earlier was like, if I was ThunderMustache, I probably wouldn't remember exactly what every item was. There's just so many.
Correct. Yeah. So Thunder might just be thinking he knows Ice Beam is in Norfair. He might have just not quite remembered where it was.
So we've got another Ridley attempt here. SlyPork.
And taking another acid bath.
Yeah, I guess I spoke too soon earlier. I said that, in this scenario that it probably wouldn't matter as much, but I guess every little bit counts. Yeah.
And Pork is actually going into this Ridley fight with one less energy tank because he did not opt to go to Gold Chorizo.
Good point. Completely forgot.
But he is...
doing much better here.
He has hit him enough. Ridley is dead, and there he goes. So he's through this time.
And we got some information earlier. I think Ponk pointed out that the amount of time that it takes for him to explode is not on a set timer, but is related to...
oh boy.
Oops. Oh, look what time it is.
Suitless Meridia for the second time in a row.
My goodness.
The hype is real.
Look where Thunder is, though.
He is entering doing the lava dive at this moment, so...
If you had told me earlier when he reset, actually, especially the second time after he reset, if you had told me that he would be entering Lower Norfair as Pork was getting finished with Ridley, I would have been pretty shocked.
Yeah, I would have been a little incredulous of that, but that's what is happening here. He is entering Lower Norfair. The only thing is he will still probably go back to collect Ice Beam from Crocomire. But
Yes,
that's the only difference at this point.
What a race.
Thunder has not been in Lower Norfair, so he's going back to check the Gold Chorizo item. He might be slightly disappointed that it's an energy tank, but he's got 5. If he gets one more quick one after this, I don't think he'll be too upset about that. Because I will allow the stand up later. Alright, so chat, take your bets on where Gravity Suit's going to appear. If it's going to be in a Mama Turtle or the reserve tank location. I think the reserve tank location will be
My goodness.
I'm actually kind of going full hope on this reserve tank location. I want to see. I never want to play a seed, but also,
looks like Thunder opting to reset and maybe just start over with full.
He's back before the lava dive.
Huh.
I'm not sure why the reset there. That's a little strange.
I wonder if he's remembering that he doesn't have ice.
Collect charge.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, I forgot all about that. He did not go back up here. So yeah, that's a bit of a time loss there. So yeah. So he is going back here to collect charge beam at the reserve location.
Yeah, it looks like maybe he's going to get all the items, or is he trying to remember which one had charge?
I think he might be trying to remember which. Yeah. I think after he gets charged here, this will probably cause him to go straight back to Lower Norfair. Because I don't think there was anything particularly useful at the other 2 locations.
No, I don't believe so.
It's probably energy or reserves, and he doesn't really need. Or grapple was at speed booster or wave.
Yeah, I think wave was maybe grapple. It's been a while, which would help. Actually, now that I think about it, you know what? It might actually end up being a requirement.
Yeah, with Suitless Meridia. So and it does look like. Well, I guess he's opting not to go. So this could be an issue later for Thunder. As it looks like we are not showing you the stream from the last race. This is indeed the second race in this, and we are seeing Suitless Meridia and the spring ball jumps again.
Looks like we're gonna get a return visit to Crocky.
Yeah, I also think this is a good move. He'll get Ice Beam really quick after Crocomire, and then he can just leave right after.
Yeah, charged plasma makes this fight a lot easier. Let's see if he's going to get
Let's see if he gets the juke.
Yeah.
And Pork is opting to try some more spring jumps here. This is not really a space you need to, but this might be something he's a little more comfortable with. Not having to spin jump in the water, because the physics are a little bit wonky.
They are indeed. And I would assume that some of the players, obviously they can do Suitless Meridia, but it's probably not what they would prefer to do.
Right. I can't imagine there's a lot of people it's what they prefer.
Right. Like, I have done a ton of RBO training in the last couple weeks because I had to run RBO for the relay.
Yeah.
And even with all that many hours I spent working on it, I still would prefer not to have to do it in a rando. So I can't imagine for anybody who didn't spend a ton of time working on it.
Yeah. And especially this is the second time in a row these players are going to end up having to do this. I have played a lot of randomizer seeds. I have never got a back-to-back suitless ever.
SlyPork doing a great job with the spring ball trick.
He is. He's doing fairly well. I probably should not have destroyed the crab there, but he'll be able to get up with the spring ball here.
Yeah. It would have been probably easier to just jump on top of the crab, but all that matters is you get there, right? So
yep.
He's on his way.
And Thunder is doing the lava dive again here. Getting it set up to get around the... ouch. Got sniped by the fireball. There he goes.
Very nice.
So Pork is probably going to opt to check the Mama Turtle room again. That's the easiest to get to. Definitely that reserve tank location is not... It's not a fun location to go suitless.
That it is not.
And it looks like Thunder did save before entering Lower Norfair there, so that's...
Ooh.
Got a safety net there.
Okay, so it looks like Pork will now be heading down to Turtle. I personally have not... I've seen a couple of randos that had gravity at Mama Turtle, but I have yet to see one that had gravity Botwoon
or the reserve tank.
Reserve, so I wonder if the chances are equal or if it's less. I don't know 100% how they've got it set up.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the percentages are on that, but I mean,
It
just
might
the
be
fact
random.
we've got 2 suitless in a row, and this is not the gravity suit.
Oh my goodness, boys and girls.
There are 2 locations here.
We got bonus suitless Meridia time. I would say fasten your seatbelt, but I know that would be completely ironic for what we're about to see.
For suitless, there's really no need for a seatbelt here. This is... You know, the seed started out giving the players basically all the power items they needed, but it's definitely not wanting to drop gravity for them.
Ooh, goodness.
And
I
Thunder's
don't...
taking-
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I was just going to say, Thunder's making his way up the worst room of the game. He's getting a little low on health, but he's managing all right. Pork, I don't think... Can you do the spring jump out of this pit? Oh, yeah, you might be able to.
Probably. I'm actually not super familiar with using that technique in many spots, so I'm not 100% sure. But we did learn last time that ThunderMustache was able to get up that room that we didn't think that he could.
Yeah,
so,
that is true. Thunder did do a pretty great job with that.
So at this point, I'm not going to be surprised by anything. Look at SlyPork go.
Yep, he got out of there, so yeah.
I'm just trying to imagine right now. I don't think that there are any other major items that we can't remember. I think everything else has been checked.
And Chat has a good point here. This would be a good spot for Thunder to Crystal Flash.
Yeah, exactly. Just as we discussed earlier. I don't know if he's super familiar with the technique. We'll see here in just a second.
He just has to lose like 28 energy, and then he can do it.
Yeah, he'll have to get down to sub. Actually, let's see how much health does he have right now?
It's 50. Yeah, 50 and below, I believe.
I needed to mouse over to update the amount.
It looks like he's opting to just run through at this point. It's kind of dangerous with those key hunters, so... Oh, and Pork just got his head knocked off by that grapple block. Yeah, it looks like Thunder is trying to farm the key hunters a little bit. Might be wanting some extra energy for that Deskiga haul.
And SlyPork pulling some Cirque du Soleil tricks over there.
So yeah, I am not familiar with Pork's knowledge of suitless Meridia, so obviously he knows how to do the spring ball trick, but there's the reserve tank location is not a fun location to get to suitless. So I'm not sure how.
No, it's gonna require the grapple jump here.
Oh, and Thunder taking a death. He did just save though, so it looks like Pork is opting to not go to the reserve tank location here.
Yeah, highly recommend if you're considering learning how to do randomizers that you at least kind of familiarize yourself with the Crystal Flash. Again, I'm not surprised that some people don't use it very often because it just doesn't come up very often in most categories. But there are definitely situations where it can speed up your process by giving you all the health back.
Yeah, we could see Pork opting to climb the snail. I don't think this is... Oh man, the snail just sniped him there. It's not a bad decision. The alternative is to grapple jump, which with where the blocks are, you can do it here, but it's a little bit tricky to get the initial start.
Especially if you're not like explicitly familiar with it.
Yeah.
Again, like I didn't plan for it to come down to this, but I have a lot of RBO experience in the last several weeks, and so I had to spend a bunch of time working on this specific trick. But it doesn't shock me at all that most other people probably haven't spent a ton of time on it because it just doesn't come up very often, if at all.
Yeah,
so I feel bad for him.
And I'm actually kind of curious if Pork knows that the reserve tank location is something he can get to.
That's an excellent point, Shy Guy. He probably would be a good idea to save here and go check that location, and if it isn't, you could just reset.
Yeah, that I think that would be the smart thing to do, but...
Because let's imagine, oh, this could be a nightmare. Let's imagine that the gravity suit is at the reserve, and he gets all the way up here, kills Botwoon, it isn't there, has to come back and do it again.
Oh, and he was knocked off one jump away from getting to the edge there. But yeah, if he has to come back here, that's not going to be a very fun trip. And yeah, he was a little too close to the edge on that one.
I will say this, okay? This is only match 2, and we technically, I mean, with each passing minute, it becomes more and more not likely but probable, or maybe not probable, but just possible that Thunder could manage to possibly close some of the gap here.
I mean, he's definitely making some time now with Pork stuck here trying to climb this wall.
Absolutely, and I think these last 2 matches just go to show you, as we move forward into this tournament, that there is all kinds of things that can happen.
And Ridley is down for Thunder, so he's going to go check the item behind Ridley, but then he will be on his way to Meridia. So we are going to have both players in the same area, both suitless again here. So,
and behold the power of solid saves along the way. Okay, Pork, your way, buddy.
You know, extra careful here. He doesn't want to have to climb that again.
Okay, so now let's see if he can get to Botwoon
and hopefully for him, I am pretty sure he knows how to do the ice clip here, but hopefully for him, that gravity suit is behind Botwoon because...
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm really not sure how much he is aware about that reserve tank location. And that it's gettable. So this ice clip is very easy to set up. You just basically get the Moktroid Lord down here. Oh, and he accidentally morphed.
The easiest way to do it would be for him to press R and L at the same time to aim straight up while crouching. And then to jump and press down at the same time to lower your hitbox or make your hitbox smaller. It'll put you on top and through the ceiling there.
And he is always... There he goes. He got the stand. So yeah, basically, as soon as you freeze that mock droid and jump straight up, you look down to basically land on top of it. It pushes you into the tile. From there, you can stand up and jump through the tile.
So once again, we have Botwoon with Plasma Ice Wave and X-Ray. You know what? Not only did we get Suitless two times in a row, but we're getting Botwoon and Dragon X-Ray Plasma 2 times in a row. Okay, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. What is it gonna be?
Is this gonna be Gravity, or are we getting...
I really hope that it is. I can only imagine the feeling if it's not.
It is Gravity. Okay, we are...
Have we had a single match yet in this tournament where Gravity was at Botwoon?
I have not seen it.
Goodness, what a series this has been.
These last 2 seeds. But Pork is in go mode. He is going to finish off Dragon and then I imagine go straight to terrain. There's nothing else stopping him from doing that. So he even has all the major upgrades. So and now this could actually be a problem for Thunder if he decides to check that reserve tank location. He could lose some time.
True.
So,
I guess the main thing right now is just making sure he can get up there to begin with.
Yeah, because after last seed, I imagine he'll also be checking the Mama Turtle. It's the easiest one to get to. So oh yeah, what a pair of seeds these have been for these racers.
My goodness, yeah. Right now, if you count ThunderMustache's initial grab of Spazer before he soft locked, both players will have managed to collect every single major item outside of E-Tanks.
Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous. And also, SlyPork looking like he's going to opt for the grapple. Oh, there he goes. He's changing the X-ray. So yeah, the X-ray kill with that, definitely the fastest way to take care of Dragon. Also the easiest and safest.
Absolutely. And another one of those situations where optimally you just head on up to the door and head on to Torian.
Yep, and Pork making the smart decision here to not check the item behind Dragon. And it looks like Thunder is going to check the item behind Charge Beam in the hopes that he doesn't have to do Suitless here.
Oh yeah, he's about to go through the same feelings that
yeah, he's not going to be very happy with what he finds back here. But again, in his situation, that's not a bad thought to head back here, because your options are go to Meridia and do it Suitless and hope Gravity Suit is back there. Yeah,
imagine if Gravity actually was here and you opted to not even check.
Yeah, that's. I mean, this is the smart thing to do. Unfortunately, we know it's not going to work out, but this is not a bad decision on his part.
No, not at all. Oh, this is yeah. He's gonna. I think last match he was trying to do a jump instead of just doing the normal horizontal spark. So hopefully he'll get it here in just a second.
Yeah, hopefully. I know I have struggled with the Shine Spark 2 myself, trying to do that, trying to make it go faster, and it was just a little too high there. Yeah, Pork is making his way up. I imagine he'll take the safety save at the ship again, refill all his supers.
Yeah, that would be my assumption as well.
And Thunder does need to actually get a spin jump here to do his horizontal in the water.
There we go.
Oh, there we go. And yeah, he's found the energy tank. He's opting to go ahead and take it. He'll get his 7th there. Not what he wanted to find.
And the realization just sunk.
Yeah, I imagine he was probably thinking there's no way we're getting 2 of these in a row. I mean, I have not seen that many Suitless Seeds in this tournament, and just getting 2 in a row from the same 2 players, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I gotta say, I definitely feel for both of them having to endure that twice.
Yeah,
But they've hung in there with it and done quite well.
Yeah, it's.
I think there's a lot to be said for everybody in this tournament. I've seen a lot of people face some challenging situations and persevere, and I think that says a lot about them.
Yeah, it's. There's just so much in the randomizers that you end up doing. You would never willingly put yourself through. The randomizers really teach you a lot of different tricks. It makes you learn the game and figure out what you can do. So Thunder is making his way back to Meridia as Pork is going to head straight to terrain here.
And I'm sure most people are aware, but as you can see, they've set up the randomizer to not make you wait for the animation at G4. You can watch it technically if you wanted to underwater, but you can just go right on in there.
Yeah, really no point to watching that one when they went ahead and got it sped up for you. And another slight difference from last seed, since they do have bombs, if the Metroids do latch on, they will be able to bomb them off instead of laying power bombs to destroy them. So that's something that they
and right on cue. You're a prophet, Shy Guy.
I guess that's. I was not hoping to see that, but he just wanted to demonstrate it for everybody.
Right. And luckily for them, this seed gave plenty of power bombs. So I think he came in with 20.
Yeah.
So he would have been able to, like, in worst case scenario, he could have power bombed every room and been.
Yeah, he had enough, but
it's definitely slower.
And he's doing a slightly different grouping strat, just letting them all grab him. Of course, this could also speed up the big Metroid slightly by taking some energy off.
That's true. For the record, again, sometimes we cover things that a lot of people know, but we might have some new viewers.
Right.
You can pull off a Metroid skip here, a baby Metroid skip, and save some time. However, if you don't know how to do the trick or feel like your chances are low of pulling it off, it's actually faster to damage yourself as much as possible before the baby Metroid grabs you. Right. That way, this little scene lasts shorter duration.
Right, yeah, which you saw Pork doing a little bit by jumping into the side hopper. Just to take a little bit of extra damage off so he can get the Metroid off of him faster.
Once again, facing left height. Looking forward, not backwards.
Yeah, for those who don't know, if you're facing right at the end of that, it's actually just slightly faster. You're able to exit the crouch pose just a little bit faster, but it's only a couple of frames, I believe, that it saves.
Yeah, I believe Sephi said 40. I know it's less than a minute, but
yeah,
excuse me, a minute, a second is what I meant to say. Less than it's significantly less than a minute.
Right. It's kind of a. Oh, so chat is saying 40 frames. So yeah, 2/3 of a second it would save to be facing right at the end of that. Not a huge deal not to be looking that direction, but it is a little time save that's easy to do.
True. I would like to say that technically I'm not wrong. It is less than a minute. Okay, so now oh no. Oh no, Thunder.
Is he doing this again?
Okay, well, it did work last time.
Oh, he destroyed the fishies this time, so is he aware that there's another door into that room?
Yeah, that's the thing. Typically, ideally, I think the fastest method is to go in that door, but to freeze the fish and fall on it. But the safest by far is to go to the door further to the right.
Yeah.
And
it does look like Pork did get the Zeb skip this time. He's able to successfully pull that off.
all right, SlyPork now finished with Mother Brain 1.
Oh, and Thunder got up with that fish method again.
Look at that, man. That's impressive.
These are... That is actually... I've never seen that before the first race here. In 2 races in a row, he got that.
My goodness. I've learned a lot, actually, today.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, he's not going to be happy with what's back here, but he'll know he's only got just a couple of locations here, and hopefully he opts to go to Batoon first. If he doesn't, I really hope he takes the save so he can reset after checking the reserve tank.
Agreed.
And
it looks like SlyPork has made quick work of Mother Brain 2.
He actually might have a little too much energy for what he's wanting to do here. Unless he can take it off here. This looks like...
Oh.
Yep. Did not. He had a little too much energy. He did have a safety save, though, so...
Yeah, that's good. Mother Brain was having none of that.
Yeah, for the stand-up, you do want over 700 energy, just for the easiest, I guess, method. Just a little over 700 energy. Oh, and he just...
Once again, yeah, that's... Again, I'm just kind of pointing this out for anybody to use later. Having plasma on in Suitless Meridia trying to freeze things is very dangerous.
Yeah, because things like that happen. So, it's like he is making his way over to this door. So he is aware of this door. I'm a little surprised about the other method he uses to get through that room.
Well, sometimes, there's many things in this game where there might be 3 or 4 ways to do something, and maybe, like, by chance you just kind of learn one of the ones that's maybe a little bit more difficult first or something, and you just kind of stick with it because it's what you learned. So maybe that's the situation. I don't know.
And Pork is trying to get this Zeb skip again here. Not quite.
Yeah, he could, again, just opt to...
oh, and Thunder does not actually have Grapple Beam. He did not go and collect that. I just noticed.
Right.
So he's gonna... Let's... Pork got the Zeb skip here, but yeah, that's gonna be a little bit tricky for him. Is this room even possible without Grapple?
To be honest,
I'm not sure.
I'm skeptical.
Can you do the spring jump up to the ledge and then up to where the door is?
Of course, I want to give the man the benefit of the doubt because I was skeptical about that fish situation earlier too, and he proved me wrong. So, but I am not aware of a way to get through this room.
Yeah, that's
without grapple in this spot.
And he's just realized. Yeah, I don't know if this is doable. It looks like he might be opting to head out to get grapple.
Don't think this is a situation where crab climbing is going to work as much as we all love that strat.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Dopey, but that's there's a dope fish. That's I don't think there's going to be a crab climb in that room. Grapple, I believe, was at Speed Booster, or maybe it was Speed Booster or Wave. It's one of those 2 locations.
Yeah, for some reason I think it was Wave, but either way, he'll have it within a minute of each other.
Yeah, it's not terribly far away, so. Okay, this time I think Pork has it set up properly.
This is another one of those scenarios too where you definitely save a little bit of time stand up, but if you happen to accidentally make a mistake, you're losing a lot.
Right, yeah.
So I hope that he's able to pull it off this time.
Oh, Thunder accidentally not fully
definitely-
thinking those shots through.
Yeah, I've definitely done that several times.
It happens every time.
Ice Beam is great until it's not.
Yeah, it looks like SlyPork is going to get some damage taken off Mother Brain. That'll speed up the third phase a little bit. And Thunder is looks like heading to Wave Beam first. So yeah, you might be ready. Or maybe changing his mind here.
I actually can't remember. Maybe it is speed.
I don't remember.
That feels so long ago.
It was one of these locations. That's all I can remember.
And now Rainbow Beam making quick work of Mother Brain 3 over here for SlyPork. Oh, so it was speed boost. Okay. I don't know why I was thinking it was wave. I guess wave was probably just an E-tank or something like that, right?
Probably an E-tank or reserve tank. That's the only thing it could have been.
Okay, and SlyPork will now attempt to escape.
So, take bets on if he goes visits the animals again.
My assumption would be yes, just based on the first one, but you just never know.
We'll see if he opts to take that time. Because, again, he has no clue where Thunder is, so... He's having a little bit of difficulty with climbing this room. And Thunder is making his way back up just to get to Meridia. Yeah, he's... This seed, it started out... I guess both seeds really started out great for the items you get, but it just withheld Gravity Suit.
I mean, both seeds trolled so hard because they were like, hey, early game, here's Plasma in charge. Oh, by the way, Suitless Meridia.
Yeah,
like, unbelievably difficult.
It really made a trade-off there. It's like, I'll give you everything except this.
So as SlyPork makes his way up to secure the 2-0 victory for this round, a couple things real quick. On the Speed Gaming channel, currently we have a race between Zarby89 and Topsy Turv, which that will be going on. I think they're going to play either both or all three if required matches back to back. And keep in mind that ThunderMustache, you will see more of him. He is not out of the tournament at all. It's a double elimination. And I want to say, number one, props to both runners for showing a lot of grit and skill.
Oh, yeah.
And then thank you, Shy Guy, so much for being a commentator with me. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah, it's no problem. It's definitely fun, and definitely we're seeing a seed like this for the second time in a row here. This was not what I was expecting.
Yeah, me neither. And also, I'd like to give some love to DJ Majet, who controlled the display for you guys in the last round, and then DD was this time. So thank y'all very much, and big shout out to Feasel as well for everything, not only with these races but everything.
And Pork is actually having a lot of trouble with Alcatraz this time.
Oh, are you?
Oh no!
just use bombs, man.
Oh boy, he has bombs, but he's...
Oh my goodness.
Does he remember he has bombs?
Oh my goodness.
He is not taking the bomb path. Oh no. the animal's revenge is happening right now.
Oh,
there he goes. He's gonna get out, but that is close.
Wow. I was about to say, if this really does happen, then this has been the wildest 2 races I have ever seen.
So, good game to SlyPork.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that was a bit of more of a nerve-wracking end than it needed to be.
I was more stressed by that than I have ever felt during an RBO run. My goodness.
Oh man.
Whew.
That escaped though. Yeah, congrats to SlyPork.
GG to SlyPork on the win, and once again, ThunderMustache showing some exceptional resiliency in his runs.
Yeah, he's. It's just, there was the soft lock that happened earlier where he lost a half hour, so.
It was 40 minutes. It was like 42, the 42-minute mark or something like that.
Yeah, so he lost a lot of time. He really isn't that far behind, because really he's got 2 locations to check, and then he's going to be heading straight to Dragon and then Terrain. So despite, he had a couple of resets there. The first one obviously took a lot of time, but in spite of that, he's really showing a lot here.
Absolutely.
And again, with 2 seeds like this in a row, that's just not. I almost want to say that's unfair to the racers. This was not an enjoyable experience.
Yeah, that was really tough situation for them to be in. My hat's off to them for dealing with it.
Yeah, I mean it's great to watch, but just playing it is another matter entirely. It's the last thing you want to come across, and
not to mention, I think what is easy to forget is they're not playing these seeds in a vacuum. They are aware that A, there's somebody they're racing against, and B, there are people watching.
Yeah.
And that, for anybody who's never, been in a Super Metroid race, or especially one that's been streamed and had commentary on it, it's, it's definitely more of a nervous experience than just kind of chilling in your house and playing. So the fact that they were able to deal with all of those situations is very impressive.
Yeah, so yeah, Thunder here is probably, I think, going to take the save. Yeah, it looks like he's going to do that, and then check the reserve tank.
Yeah, I think this is a good spot to save pretty much anyway. Like, even if you weren't going to go check the item, it's just a good place in case you accidentally make a mistake on bot twin or something. There's been times where you get here without charge and you can soft lock.
Yeah. So, and it actually looks like Thunder is also opting not to check the reserve tank, so. Which is the, we know it's going to be the right decision, but I'm actually kind of surprised by that.
Hey, we got some Deer Force love in the chat. Let's see what the final item collection rate was for SlyPork. 55.
And that's actually pretty high for a randomizer.
It is. But I don't at all blame them for having that high of a number here.
No, I mean, because they literally had to check everywhere, so. And it does look like Thunder is going to head on over. Oh, I guess he's just releasing the snail there.
Release the snail.
I tell you what, though, he is really consistent with that spring ball jump.
Yeah, he's been doing really well with it.
I spent a long time with those and got absolutely nowhere with them, so hats off to Thunder for that. And that is actually the wrong sand pit. It's okay. He does have the save right there, so.
Realized.
Yep. Of course, the fact that reserve is in the left sand pit is also kind of annoying because you do have to get across that first one, which you've got these tiles that are pulling you down,
Especially
and you're suitless. Yeah, you don't have a long way to go before you touch the door tile. So there's all of 16 pixels, and you're losing, pixels pretty fast going down the sand. So.
Snail climbing going on here. It's moments like this that I'm just fascinated by how many different ways you can do things in.
Right, yeah, because you can climb the snail, you can use the grapple. I think you can latch onto the grapple blocks up there, off the top grapple block, and you can obviously do the jump and do your metamorphing all the time.
Yeah. Oh.
So yeah, you can kind of see right there what happens. The sand pulling you down, and you're suitless because there's only the one tile there in front of above the door transition. So it's definitely not the easiest thing to do. So. Although I think it would help if he held the angle button when doing that. I do believe in the sand that really kind of resets your jump to a better position while you're in there.
You know what? I wasn't aware of that. I'm glad you mentioned that.
It kind of helps reset your pose a little bit, so you can jump a little quicker after landing. Because every now and then, out of the spin jump pose, you'll land a little lower. So the angle button will kind of prevent that. So it'll help you stay above the door.
I see.
At least it feels that way. It feels that way to me. I can't confirm this.
Yeah, well, I don't doubt that you're accurate for a second. That's very interesting. I got another reset here.
Yeah, this was just such a brutal seed, though. for gravity suit.
Anytime that gravity is number one, it's difficult, period, in Meridia, but especially if it's Sandpit or Botwoon.
Yeah,
it's even worse.
Yeah, because those are, I believe, the two latest locations it can appear. I don't believe gravity can be a Dragon.
Now, I believe those are the only 3 spots that it's possible for gravity to spawn.
Okay. Yeah, because it won't be back at Shack Tool.
Correct.
Which is unfortunate because Shack Tool needs more love.
I have had one, I think I mentioned earlier, I've had one seed I played where Varia was back.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think there was and just getting outside the snail's hitbox there. Yeah, that's really tricky. With Suitless, it's... So yeah, it's never a bad idea to get yourself flush up against the wall after landing on the snail again, just to prevent, because your hitbox swings a little bit far out underwater, and he is getting up there, so. And he will be very happy to see Gravity Suit after Botwoon.
Well played. So yes, he is now going to get in position to kill Botwoon. I'm sure, I would assume he is pretty familiar with the ice clip here, so. Looks like he's going to be careful.
It looks like he's going to carry that mock troid across with him here.
I
Want to be careful because they will do quite a bit of damage. So doesn't want to lose too much. So yeah, and he's doing the LR method, so he'll be able to freeze it, no problem.
There we go. He's already through.
Yep.
Good job.
And thanks to... Oh, looking like he's opting to go for an X Factor.
Yeah, he's doing the 80% strat, although I've never tried it with the water mechanics. Oh, wow.
Oh. Well,
ThunderMustache showing off some moves. How about that?
That was...
I have learned I have learned many things watching his run that I did not know you could do.
Thunder is showing some tricks now.
Wow.
And he's going to be very happy up here. Finally find gravity suit.
Okay.
Okay, good. A little bit short on that one, but...
Oh, spring ball.
Spring ball for the win.
And now at this point, it's just clean up Dragon and Torian.
Yep. And yeah, I'm sure he's going to be glad that these seeds are over with and never want to see another one like this again.
I can only imagine that he must be he'll be very thrilled the next time he runs a rando that he doesn't have to do suitless meridian.
Yeah, that's... I am still shocked that happened. That is... You see a suitless every now and then, but twice in a row, back to back, on the same racers is... Yeah, I don't know that anybody's gonna have anything like this again in this tournament.
But I can only imagine the likelihood of that happening is... I mean, it's possible that we don't even see but just a handful more of suitless,
yeah.
Period. Not to mention 2 back-to-back by the same runners, and one of them being Botwoon.
It's... Oh, that was actually a nice hit on the
X Factor, yeah.
Yeah, getting it through some of those sponges. Or gunk, whatever they're called.
Oh, there he goes, remembering the X-ray.
Easily take care of Dragon.
He's gonna go ahead and get in position to immediately exit the room. Well done, Didi. Thank you very much for your service today.
Yes, indeed. Did a great job. So yeah, now it's just going to be a quick run back to terrain and getting finished up. Probably the 2 worst randomizer seats Thunder's played in a while.
I know, but you know what? He's going to finish both of them.
He's going to complete both of them. That's... You know, and there's a lot to be said for that. You know, you can get things like this and you know, just kind of give up, restart, go for a different seed that's, you know, not gonna make you do something like this. But
I agree.
You know, the more you do these seeds, the more practice you're going to get in, obviously, the more comfortable you're going to become with it. So
my hat is off to anybody who never gives up and perseveres until they complete. So I think that's awesome. And he displayed, I mean, let's not forget, we talked about this at least like 3 times already. Let's not forget that before he accidentally died there in Gauntlet, he was moving
he was
very quickly.
Yeah, he was going fast. He was having a really good run. It's just unfortunate that he had one power bomb short there.
Mm-hmm. And the funny thing is too, like, we didn't know what that item was at the time. And I think I had mentioned right before he went in, I was like, it'd be good if this was screw attack, because then he would be able to go to Lower Norfair. If it had been that, he would have been able to get out.
Yeah, so yeah, it was just a series of circumstances that happened. So but yeah, opting to get the refill off the ship here. I'll get his ammo back, because again, he did definitely collect fewer of the minor items this time around, since he knew what items he was getting relatively quick.
Speaking of which, looking over at SlyPork's screen, once again, congratulations to SlyPork for the 2-0 victory. That is not only now, but it has always been one of my favorite closing screens of any video game. Nice classic look right there.
Yeah. I always like games that have a percentage of stuff at the end.
Oh, yeah.
I like seeing 100% on that, but in a randomizer, 55% will work just fine.
Oh yeah. The way I feel about it is, if I get to see that number at all in a randomizer, I'm feeling pretty good. And once again, we're seeing the power of bombs.
Yeah, terrain's a little bit tricky. So when you're trying to go faster here, you're pressing the select button a lot, switching between missiles and your beam. So you can kind of get a little ahead of yourself and select before you actually fire your beam, so you start shooting missiles at Metroids before they're frozen.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
it's definitely a technical portion of any run, sure. That's one of my favorite things about this game. It just there aren't very many games that I can think of, especially 16-bit era, that require mechanically and sort of technically as much as this game requires.
Yeah. There's so much in this that even like when I first played the game, you don't know any of the secret skills. You don't know Crystal Flash, any of the special beam attacks. Wall jumping was a new thing. Oh
yeah.
Shine Spark was new.
The wall jumping destroyed me when I was a kid.
Yeah, it really did.
Like, I remember getting stuck. I think everybody has a story about getting stuck with the, how do you pronounce it? Is it the Edecoons or something like that?
Yeah, the Edecoons, yep.
It took me a long time to get out from that room.
Yeah, when I always had trouble, pushing up or down on the D-pad before.
Yeah.
Oh, and Thunder also not saving 40 frames here.
Once again, facing left, looking to the future and not to the past.
And he does have plenty of supers, but he opted to missile the door there. There's one more missile door. But yeah, he is actually good on ammo.
Yeah, he should have plenty. right now he's got 2 doors left to do his supers. He'll walk in with 18 supers and 20 regular missiles, and
That's more than enough. So.
like 70 something or I guess 90 something. I can't. Not quite 90, but it's like 70 something worth, and he only needs 36. So he should be fine.
Yeah. There he goes, getting the Zep Skip second try there.
Good job.
Yeah, the Zep Skip's a little bit tricky to learn the first time, but it's when you figure it out, it's a trick that looks really cool. That's really simple to do, and it's all due to Super Metroid's amazingly strange and funky mechanics.
Yeah. I remember when I first learned how to do it, because I think this one and the initial mock ball to get the supers early are pretty much like 100% mandatory if you're going to try to run the game.
Yeah.
I remember it took me a while, and every time I would get here and run, I'd get really nervous because I'd be worried that I would mess it up, you know?
Right, yeah. Oh. So yeah, despite how solid the Zepatite looks, it is basically a pixel wall. And that frozen Rinka is the trick to everything.
That's right.
It basically, you spin jump and land on it, you get pushed a pixel forward, and you can just jump up and pass through it.
Well, that is the presumably last catch-up we will see in this series of races.
I think so.
ThunderMustache here is going to just kind of chill and get through cutscene, and then try to get out of here.
Yeah, he's going to be... you think he's going to go take care of the animals himself, or let the planet do it?
One thing that the viewers will see probably eventually if they watch enough matches, it just kind of comes down to, number one, what items people have, and number two, the player. But there is a way to get a Zeb Skip with just the speed booster only.
Yes.
I find the execution of the getting through actually not very difficult. It's getting the
shine spark.
The spark, that can be very tight.
Yes. Is that a short 3-tap?
Yeah, you got to get a stutter. You got to get a stutter 3-tap, and then it's also like it's a very tight window to press down to secure the spark.
Yeah, it's possible. I definitely think it's because you need to be really good at charging that spark in a very short window. I consider that to be a lot more difficult than the ice freezing Rinka version.
But there will eventually be certain seeds that, ice is trapped somewhere where people can't get to it, and you will definitely see the top players opt to go for that. So.
Oh yeah, I'm hoping to see some Ice Beam Ejectile seeds. So on those, you're likely to see people opt to not bother.
That's right. As Overfiend once put it, I think everybody knows Overfiend's one of the top players in the game right now. In fact, today, I believe earlier before these matches started, he set a new world record for GT Classic. But one time, he's the current world record holder for low percent speed, which obviously requires you to get that speed boost Zeb Skip. And he made a point to talk about how it's one thing to get it in practice. It's another thing to get it in a run when your nerves are kind of going,
Yeah.
So I can only imagine how much difficult it might be for somebody in the middle of a random race like this to try to pull that move off.
Yeah, the low percent speed category is probably the worst thing I can think of.
Oh, I can't imagine how difficult it must be. really, I think both of the low percent, the main ones, speed and ice,
And
I
ice,
think
yeah.
are very
They're
very difficult.
yeah. Attempting those is, I just successfully doing that is a pretty amazing thing. So
I wholeheartedly agree. If there ever comes a day that I am able to complete either one of those runs, I will be, no matter what time it is, I'll be very happy. Okay, that's it.
a good game to Thunder.
GG.
Sticking with it and finishing off both seeds. Those pretty awful seeds.
Yeah, those seeds were absolutely brutal. Shout outs to SlyPork and ThunderMustache for hanging in there and getting them both done. Congrats again to SlyPork for the victory. And I think that's going to do it for us.
Yep, I believe so.
Shy Guy, thank you very much again. Have an excellent day. And to all of you out there in the chat, keep on watching. Remember, right now on Speed Gaming, the first channel, we have another match going on between Topsy Turv and, let's see, Zarby89. So if you want some more rando tournament action, head over there. Thank you, and good night, guys.